past couple days, but I thought I didn't refill something or something went wrong when I replaced the EGR cooler and valve. So yeah, my goofy ass. Yeah, I just remember that. Oh, I had to push this certain button or turn this button this far over to turn on the AC. So there's that. So I'm good now, and hopefully you guys can hear me over the AC. Anyways, I got on here with no particular message as always. I'm just basically letting it flow, and yeah. So I'm trying to pull on something. There's about 3 different things trying to come through right now, and I'm trying to see which one is basically coming through the strongest. Because I know lately I've been wanting to talk about just my story, my energy, who I am just naturally as a person, because that is important to, like, during this whole journey, just to stay true to yourself, but also grow. It's a song called One Headlight. The lyric is, man, I've changed, but I know I'm not the same. We don't go through all this shit just to stay the same. If we did, then what exactly is the point, right? And people go through different things, but you can never denature a person who is true to themselves. You can't GMO it, you can't hybrid them, you can't do anything like that. You can just only hope to change some elements about them. But what the devil energy means for bad, the Most High means for good. So usually that good is more wisdom, or that good is like, okay, say they want to cause you a financial loss, right? And then it turns out in your favor, and it's actually a gain for you. That is the kind of change that we end up with when we're true to ourselves, when we're our authentic selves. A lot of people are unhappy, and I took a look around this, because like a lot of them are just too busy faking to try to fit in with people, places, and environments that definitely do not suit them, are not for their greatest and highest purpose, and they're there because maybe this is in any place, like cities and things like that. That's why like you may inherit a house, but that doesn't mean honestly that you should stay in it. Because I inherited a house, and I knew that if I had stayed in that house, my frequency would have gotten dragged way down further than anybody has ever seen, right? Or maybe not. I would just be in spiritual prison, spiritual jail, and that's just because of the simple fact that I knew I did not belong there, And my father and brother were living in that house. This was after my grandmother passed. I was on the deed, or someone that was on the deed. I don't know what happened to it, because I just completely abandoned the situation because I didn't give a shit about, like, I just like, okay, y'all want to play this game, basically. I just left the money, the house, everything, because I'm like, I know I'll get it back. I'm not telling you can have it, but right now I'm just too distraught, and I still didn't have time to grieve. But that never changed me into a freaking like karmic or anything. It just made me go into overdrive on my workaholism. I would literally just work until I was just sick, bedridden, work until like I went blind in one eye one day because I was working so hard. I was so stressed out, and I basically, long story short, I internalized my negative emotions, or my healing. I didn't, I went internal to heal, because that's the only place you can go to heal. You can only go to the Most High to actually heal yourself. It's not external. It's not the materials. It's not any of that stuff that they tell you that, oh, look at this, it's so shiny. It's definitely not alcohol, weed, cigarettes, definitely not drugs, anything like that. It's all internal. You have to go have that conversation. You have to do with the Most High. You have to have that conversation with the devil as well, the devil energy, your shadow work, your dark night of the soul. You have to go through it, and that is required for your ascension and your healing. And I've been going through a lot of ascension symptoms lately, ringing ears, like just like I'm not sleeping like I normally, like I sleep, but it's kind of like I'm waking up at sporadic times, and it's not a bad feeling. It's just like, oh, okay, another download, and then it's just like it takes me a minute to go back to sleep. My energy gets lighter every single time, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's just weird. My energy's been really light since I've closed out some cycles, and I'm like purging excess nonsense out of my spiritual system, and yeah, and I'm still me. I'm still me. I ain't changed, but I know I'm not the same, right? And I've always been a peaceful person. I've always been someone to internalize, a self-soother, a truth sayer. I'm still gonna speak the truth regardless. I might say some wild shit, and I might be a real abrasive about it, but hey, it was the truth. It came from an honest place, and it was straight honesty. I'm better for it. My energy's lighter for it. My heart's lighter for it. And I'm so grateful for that, because I could have just, kept up a bunch of bullshit, kept up a bunch of drama, a bunch of lies. And that's just it's never been me. I'm a drama-free person, even though people are always bringing drama to me, And, I'll say that, it is because of what I say sometimes, but that's more of a them thing, because people would say some, people talk reckless to me. I had I was selling insurance, story time, and I was there by myself. It was a 2-person office, and as always, I was there by myself, crushing it, with a micromanaging manager, a hater, really, a greasy-haired hater, and wanted me to always be on my emails, always be on the phone. Like, he wanted me chained to that job. I'm just like, no, and I still got it done. And he was, just hating, whatever. So I was already having a wild day, just because it was just super busy, and I had to go out and do some marketing, like advertising, throw out some flyers, and make it back to the office and whatever. Just pick up my kid from school, and they were, telling me that I couldn't bring him to the office after school, just giving me a hard time about every little thing. And then on top of that, I was already at my wit's end. The lady came in, and she was upset about her insurance, her policy, some things on the policy, and I told her, consulted her on what she could do to change this, and that. Lower the limits, and still remain in full coverages. Find it. I could go into it. Basically, uninsured, underinsured motorists is what makes your insurance full coverage, along with the deductibles. So she could raise the deductible. She had questions. It wasn't a long conversation, because I don't think she truly understood me, but she got me to explain, and kind of got the gist of it. And then she kind of cursed me out about something, and I was like, well, God bless you. And she was like, well, God ain't got shit to do with this. I'm like, clearly. And she gets up and walks out, and she comes in and I kind of nod my head to see her off or whatever. She walks out of the office. She comes back, I think a couple days later or whatever, in my office. I'd forgotten about her. I forgot about the whole situation. I'm like, okay, moving on. Just as soon as she, her energy left my field, which was the second she walked out that door. Really, the second I saw her off, I was just like, okay, cool. That's you. That's how you feel. Keep that. That's all you. And she comes back and she apologizes. Because sometimes when you handle something amicably, the person will come back and apologize. And sometimes it'll start a war. It depends on what energy is in them. Sometimes it just simply does not matter what you do. That person will never be satiated by you or anything that you do. That's why you can't give a fuck about anything, them or anything that they do. I mean, you can give a fuck about them, but you don't have to give a fuck about anything that they say or do. And, that's the whole thing of mastery of detachment. If you can detach like that and just not, it doesn't bother me, because that's your battle that you're fighting with that's your battle with whatever demon, or your problem with the Most High, whichever trajectory you want it to go to. That's all you, boo. Just keep it away from me. It's not my problem. I refuse to take on your problems that may very well be external to you, but it's still your problem because you've internalized things that are external and made them a problem to yourself. You made them a disease to yourself. Sorry that you did that to you, right? And yeah, it just doesn't. There's a lot of things that we get upset about, and it's just like, it really isn't worth fucking being mad for it. It isn't worth being upset for it. It isn't worth internalizing and causing disease within your body, and that's the stress. And stress leads to other things, leads to cancerous, insidious things inside your body. And it only takes 2 months to develop a habit. And like when I was out partying, I was out partying for 2 years, but it still wasn't a habit. It's because it's not in my nature, really. It was just like me trying to see, like, oh, do I just need to get this shit out of my system? I don't want to be partying at the wrong time. No, it just wasn't me. I did it for 2 years, and it was just like, why am I forcing myself to do this shit? I just stopped cold turkey. And just don't try to denature yourself to fit in anywhere. Not for any amount of money. It's not worth it to your soul. I wouldn't even say I was out partying, because I would be home by like 10. So it was just like, I'd go hit up a little, like I would go out after work to a bar or something. It wasn't even a party. I went to maybe 2 clubs in my entire life. I would do Thursday nights, like Latin dancing, and that would be about it. And they closed that joint down. It was a fire hazard. It's just like, yeah. And it was unfortunate because they had actual teachers there, but whatever. I spent more time dancing than I did drinking. Dancing is a natural thing. Drinking is depending on who you are and what energies you entertain, it's not I'll say a relaxing thing. It relaxes you for the most part, unless you're just operating in a demonic energy. Then you get what's the word I'm looking for? You get sloppy drunk. Just like, it doesn't matter if it's one. If you're a shit starter, then you're a shit starter, right? You talk shit, you start shit, and everything around you turns to shit because you got the sedums touch when you're drunk. If you're operating in a demonic energy, you got the sedums touch. Period. The only way you're able to survive is if you're constantly connected to high vibrational people. You can't go within you. Like, that's why some people are demonic and they simply can't, or they're operating out of a demonic energy because they haven't fully let it take over, but they're still like using it somehow, operating out of some source of pain, and pain, and like manipulating themselves to convince themselves that they are not in that pain. Trying to stand strong, keep a bold face about them and everything like that, a facade. And yeah, they just become like just a shitty person when they drink it. They swear they want to blame it on the alcohol. Like me, I'm just like, if I don't allow myself, first of all, to really just get drunk. I'll get like a nice buzz and just chill out and not be worried about anything. And just like, usually it's by myself. I don't really drink around people too much, and if I do, I make my own drink. And I know how to manage and monitor myself to the point, and not to the point where I'm just like all over the place. I might, I don't know, like maybe misstep or something. If that, I'm still pretty sturdy even then. But anyways, that's not the energy I operate out of. Even when I'm like doing like edibles, I've never done anything really harder than like a mushroom, and it's kind of like I'm just really happy. Like anything I like do as a intoxicant, I'm just happy. I just get happier, and I get funnier too. Like just like, and the spiritual kick is that it's live, it's wild, and it's just like I've had some conversations with people when I was under any influence, and feel like I saved a life or two, to be honest. Like, I really do. I don't know who. Well, I have an idea of who, but, or I've saved somebody from going, well, saving someone from going to the other side is pretty much like saving a life, because it's like kind of like operating out of that energy is you're dead or in jail. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's really no other route. Highway to hell is a quick to get to hell. And there's a stairway to heaven, or ladder rather, that we're going into the world. The energy shift in the world is giving people the abilities to build those ladders. With different people awakening and code cracking and breaking out of that devil energy where you're just stubborn and setting your ways and making them more compromising, because being stubborn can be a devil energy too, even if it's for a good reason or a high vibration. Sometimes you gotta compromise. Sometimes you gotta drop the wavelength to bring it back up, so you can have the momentum to go back up. So you let it go off the arc of the top, the previous one, then you let it drop down and go all the way back up, and that's that like a roller coaster. That's how the momentum is used. It's not always about the electricity. Sometimes it's just about letting things roll freely. And yeah, I guess I don't really have. I'll probably make another video today. But yeah, when you stay true to yourself, that's what you can do, knowing that you are operating out of divine energy, and your ebb and flow is with the Most High. Because the devil energy will have you trying to control every damn thing, driving yourself crazy, overworking yourself. And it's just like Most High will be like, oh yeah, take this one, take this this job is here, and of course you gotta do due diligence and have some planning in between travel. Like in my situation, I'm a freelancer and everything like that, so like I want a 4-to-3 ratio. I want 4 days on, 3 days off, and I'm getting closer and closer to it, fortunately. And I'm willing to work doubles on whatever days I'm working, because I know the amount of money I want to make a day, and that's what I'm literally manifesting right now, to be able to do that. And I've had karmics in the backdrop trying to cause me financial issues, and make me work harder than I really need to for my lifestyle, to make it look like I'm not enjoying my lifestyle, like my lifestyle is bad. And that's that devil energy trying to control everything, and they wearing themselves out, and that's on them. Whatever karma they get from what they do to me, I still have to do the right thing, no matter what somebody else is doing, no matter what somebody else is saying. And this like Mercury retrograde and everything like that, or whatever moon is, it does add to the equation, right? And it does, but it's like you get into that level of mastery, you're gonna fall short a few times, but I've gotten so much better, because it's just like, for the past, I don't know how I don't know how many years these people have been after me. It's just fucking annoying at this point. It's just sad. Over a decade, I'm sure, but trying to drag me back to the energy, because I was once upon a time in the energy. Because what they do is they tether, so they'll take shots at you or whatever until they get a tether, they get a reaction. That is their tether. And then since they see they got a reaction, by one thing, they'll keep doing it until that tether is weakened or is broken, and then or until they get a tie. It's one or the other. Once they get a tie, a soul tie, or an attachment, and then they can get a soul tie once they get you to go further. See, they need you to up the ante or react to move to the next level. And that's how they get so many people fucked up, because I was in that energy that if certain things you say or do, a person will say or do to me, next thing you know, they'd be sweeping dust up off the floor, formerly known as their teeth. And I did, but it wasn't that I had a temper. I'd been pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. I'm like, why would you keep doing that to someone until they react the way? You're a shitty person. It doesn't, like, when you give people a chance to keep just fucking pushing you, they'll try to say it's out of fear. It's like you're a coward. Oh, they're disrespecting you. It's like, no, it's like, you'll like me if I ignore you. Like, it's better, like, appreciate the fact that I'm ignoring you. Like, I'm not responding or reacting. Just appreciate it. And that's all I can say. Like, let me ignore you, please. Like, the shit, because you're on some bullshit right now, and you need to go heal that. You need to go correct that shit about yourself. Go do something with your life. I don't care what you do, just leave me out of it. And of course, someone operating in a demonic energy is going to keep